Freight brokers! What's up out there, freight brokers? I hope you're doing fantastically well. I hope your families are well. Grateful to be here another day. So happy that we have another opportunity at this thing called life. Another day, another dollar, as they say, right? So since there's another dollar and we have the responsibility to be good stewards of our dollars, then it would just make sense for us to have a plan for those dollars when they come into our household, when they come into our business, right? So what are we going to do with those dollars? Where are we going to house those dollars? How do we put those dollars in the best position so that they can go to work and earn more dollars? Well, we can put them in certain types of accounts, some very specific accounts. I'm not talking about checkings and savings accounts, the regular thing that we do. We know we have to have those accounts, but we also have to have some special types of accounts set up so that our money has the best chance to grow and grow free of the government getting their hands on it. So let's talk about the 5 special accounts that I think you need to set up, and you need to set these accounts up as quickly as possible so you can control your money and not be controlled by your money. Because regardless of how much money you can make thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars, even millions. But if you don't have direction and guidance, if you don't have a what to do plan for those dollars, your money will soon wander off. And truth be told, money wanders off from most of us. It comes into our hands and it falls right through our fingertips over and over and over again. And why is that? Well, because we don't use it properly. We don't employ our dollars. We don't give each dollar a job. And when we don't have these accounts set up so that we can know which buckets these dollars are going into, dollars get confused. And when dollar confusion starts to set in, dollars tend to wander off. Now, don't tell anybody else this. This is between you and me. Dollars innately know that they have a specific job, they have a specific purpose. And when they're not doing that job, they're not in that purpose, they tend to gravitate toward owners who will let them do their jobs. So let's be owners who let them do their jobs. Let's take a look at account number 1 that they are going to do their work in. One of the biggest termites that will eat away at your money is taxes. So we want to make sure that we have a plan to move and navigate around the tax laws. And there are accounts that allow for us to do this, allow for us to save money inside of these accounts, and we don't have to pay as much tax on that money. As a matter of fact, in the first account that I'm going to talk about, the Roth IRA, you can open up this account and your money will grow tax-free. You don't have to pay any taxes on the money that's earned inside of a Roth IRA. You pay taxes on the front end, but everything, all of the money earned, you don't have to pay any taxes on it. Of course, as long as you don't take it out until the time comes for you to take it out. First at 59, I think again at 62, you can start taking distributions from these accounts without having that tax penalty. So think about that now. If all of the money that you're making, and yes, all of the money that you're making, the government can put their hands on it and take a big portion of that money. But there's some money that you can make. The government allows for you to stash over here inside of protected accounts where they say, hey, you know what? We're not going to touch that money. We're going to allow for you to have access to that money yourself. So wouldn't it make sense to put money into those accounts? Absolutely. No two ways about that. We have to put money into a Roth IRA. We can put $6,000 a year into this account. As a matter of fact, if you did not put any money in there for 2021, you can put money in there all the way up until April 15th. Now, the second account we're going to talk about is not like the Roth IRA. It's a little bit different. It's called a traditional IRA. And within a traditional IRA, you get a tax advantage now. And when you take the money out, you have to pay taxes on it. So I put less money, a whole lot less money in my traditional IRA, and I put a whole lot more money in the Roth IRA. Why is that? Because with the Roth, I'm taxed at the front, and when I take the money out, there's no taxes to pay. Well, with the traditional IRA, I don't pay any taxes going in. I actually get a tax break. But when I take the money out of the traditional IRA, I'll have to pay whatever tax rate applies at that time. I don't like that idea because I don't know what the tax rate will be then. I know exactly what the tax rate is now, so I prefer to pay the taxes now instead of waiting to pay the taxes when it's time to take the money out. Okay, now the first 2 accounts that I just mentioned, the Roth IRA and the traditional IRA, both of those are what we call individual retirement accounts. They are going to give you the benefit of tax protection. Now, the next account that we're going to talk about is also a tax protected account. It's a 401k Roth. Your 401k Roth is different than your personal Roth. You have a 401k because you have a business and you're an employee of that business. When you're an employee of your own business, you can set up your own 401k. So you can choose to set up a traditional 401k or you can set up a Roth 401k. In my situation, I set up a Roth 401k, so I have a Roth 401k, personal Roth IRA, and a traditional IRA. And remember, IRAs are individual retirement accounts that will offer the best tax protections. My preference is to have Roth accounts. And the reason why I have those Roth accounts is because I like the tax configuration in those accounts better than I do the traditional accounts. Now, we just covered the personal Roth IRA, the 401k Roth, and the traditional IRA. We're going to get tax protections in all of these accounts. Great accounts to get set up. Now let's move our attention to accounts that don't give us tax protection, but still gives us the opportunity to invest, the opportunity to grow, to make our dollars go to work. Let's start off with the brokerage account. With a brokerage account, there are no minimums. I can put as much money as I would like to put in these accounts, and I can invest in whatever I want to invest in. And although there aren't tax protections within a brokerage account, I still love the options that I get with these accounts because it gets me in the habit of always investing. And I believe whenever you're investing in solid investments, you always have the chance of earning a return on your money. And that's what it's all about. We have to find a decent return on our money, especially in the environment that we live in. Inflation is running rampant. We can't afford not to get very good returns on our money. So up until this point, we've been talking about investment and IRA accounts. Now we're going to shift our focus and we're going to discuss savings vehicles. I don't believe in saving a whole lot of money inside of a savings account because savings account don't make any money. You make less than 1% in interest on your money within a savings account, so that's just not attractive to me. I do save money inside of emergency savings accounts. I keep about 12 months of expenses in those accounts. So if something happens, emergencies come into play, then I can just tap my emergency savings account. Now, I approach saving from, hey, I want a certain thing, so I go up and set up a high interest yield account like Allied Bank. And when you set up an account with Allied Bank, you're going to get a higher return. Now, it's not really about the return because you're still not making a whole lot of money, even on a high interest yield account, but it's about putting your money in buckets, having it marked for certain things. I would highly encourage you to get your emergency savings account set up and get that account funded. Once you've gotten it funded, if there's something else that you want, something you desire, you have on your mind as a goal, you say, hey man, I want to go out and get this really nice car. It wouldn't be a bad idea at all to set up a high yield account. Okay, the last account that I'm going to discuss with you is not one that I'm going to recommend that you do, but it is one that I recommend you look into doing. Do your research, make sure that it's right for you. Cryptocurrency accounts. I absolutely enjoy thoroughly investing in crypto. I like learning about crypto. I don't have a whole lot of money invested in crypto because it's so volatile. One day it can be up and the next day it can be cut in half, or cut by 75%. So I don't have a whole lot of money tied up in the crypto, but I do have money that I can afford to lose in it because I believe there's a lot of upside. I believe there's a chance that you can invest a small amount of money and make a lot of money. So that's what I like about cryptocurrency. I would encourage you to look into it, find out more about it, and then if you're comfortable with it, definitely open up your crypto account and start investing. I like crypto accounts with a company called Uphold. So that's what I have for you today, my friends. There's a big difference between a freight broker who makes money and a freight broker who knows what to do with the money that he makes. Which side do you stand on? Well, I think I know the answer to that question. If you're interested in learning more about the freight broker business, I'll leave a free link in the description. It's my 5-video series titled How the Load Movement Process Works. It'll give you a chance to come into my office with me, watch over my shoulders. I move loads, talk to shippers, talk to carriers. That way you can get a better understanding of how the business works before you come into it. And then if you want to know more about the details, exactly how much it's going to cost you to start your own freight broker business, I'll leave a free video right here. So until the next time, I wish you the very best in your life and business. See you at the top because the bottom is much too crowded.